this is the thing that fulfills me, and like, this is what I want to do, this is what I need to do. It's just the thing that keeps me going. This is what, like I say, I've sacrificed everything for.
Please put your hands together for Dan Raza.
Going out tonight, out somewhere down the lake, and I know got this heart, babe, and it's what I choose. Show me how to stand, find me, understand.
The final of last year's X Factor attracted an average audience of 11.5 million people, giving instant fame and recognition to a tiny selection of performers who, on the whole, are not able to write their own songs, produce their own music, or create their own image. In contrast, there is an unseen army of artists writing, producing and performing their own material. In every other pub or venue, approximately 50,000 unsigned artists are hoping to break into one of the most competitive industries of all. This is the story of one of those artists. Dan Raza is an exceptionally talented singer-songwriter that has been struggling to fuel his passion for the last 10 years. I went to school with Dan and always respected his talent. However, I had no idea how deeply his passion for music ran, or just how determined he would be to follow his dream.
40 miles from home.
I've been writing my own songs since I was about 17, and I got my first guitar and started playing when I was about 12. And I really just stuck with it since then. It took a while for me to sort of get into it and get over the sort of first hurdle of, you know, trying to get used to this sort of foreign instrument in my hand and realising that it wouldn't make music like automatically. I couldn't make it sound like I wanted it to sound, but I stuck with it. So from the age of about 14 onwards, I just noticed a progression, and just as in anything in life, when you start to see things, you know, you see you're getting better at something, it's all the encouragement and inspiration you need. This is almost 14 years now I've been playing it. Got my friend Alison I'm playing with, as I told you, and yeah, it'll be good, man. Just got some friends coming down and it's just gonna be nice. But yeah, no nerves.
Do you normally get nervous, or?
Not really. If I do get nervous, it's like about in that minute before I'm about to go on, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't like properly prepared for this. I'm gonna try and do a couple of new songs tonight, and I don't totally know them, so I'm gonna have all the sort of words taped to my guitar, which isn't ideal, but yeah.
All in the bigger town, that's in August and it's real hot, and that's not folk dancing, it's because there's a lot of dancing, folk dancing
From all over Europe.
Let me change your mind, darling, one last time. That's good. Did it sound okay? Was the levels okay?
I always think my music's, I always say it's kind of rootsy, because I love blues, country, folk, you know, just sort of raw, sort of earthy kind of musics like that, and I always consider it kind of roots music, but I guess at heart I'm what most people would describe me as a singer-songwriter with an acoustic guitar, so I fit into that kind of Bob Dylan, Neil Young sort of mode. I guess in the short of it, I would describe myself as sort of folk roots. That's cool. My main influence was Oasis. I was a huge Oasis fan. I was 11, so I was in the car coming back from football training with my dad, and I just remember on the radio this song called Roll With It came on, so it was 1995, and I was like, this is amazing. It was honestly, it was incredible. It was like a fix I'd been given of something, and I was like, I need more. I'm really excited about playing with a band. Honestly, it's brought me so much sort of energy and sort of inspiration, and I just feel really excited because you bring these songs along, and essentially what you're doing, you're just bringing the bare bones of them. You're having these people interpret the songs, you know, their different sort of instruments. The way they play their instrument is their personality. When you're playing with other people and they're playing, you're playing, and you just this kind of thing that goes on between you, and you're creating something independent of all yourselves, and it's just, you know, this kind of fusion of everyone. I bring them together in their most sort of simplistic state, you know. I've got the sort of skeleton of a song written on guitar and voice, and then they add all this stuff, all these layers on top. It's almost adding colours, you know, to the outline of a painting. It's really beautiful.
Silence brings a prayer, starlight on the water, and a ghost upon the stairs. A letter on my table is 2 days old.
Why do you think like Dan's like kind of unique?
Yeah, it's unique, yeah. Because why I like Dan, it's serious, you understand me? He's serious musician. I think he feel he wanna make music his life.
I think he's got that sort of charm about him, that quite a humble, introverted sense.
Writes his music but also incorporates all these other different sort of classes into it that, I mean, you know, he could take it as far as he wants to.
There's the content of your song, there's the quality of your music, there's your appearance, and there's your performance. He's got them all.
There's not many people you meet in life who are just incredible.
Well, November nights I'd wander down the streets towards the Thames. There's couples on the pier, and I sit and I watch them. The Christmas lights are shining, red and gold.
I don't want to just be playing sort of these gigs the rest of my life. If it happened that way, then I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't knock the way it's worked out. But I want to keep building an audience and hopefully play bigger places. And I would like to not have to keep doing these crappy jobs I do at some point. You know, I'd like to think I can just concentrate more on my music and make more money out of that. So I work distributing leaflets for a recycling company. I just find it, I don't know, it's not what I want to do with my life, you know what I mean? I just see it as a means to an end, and if I thought I was going to be doing that in 5 years' time, that wouldn't be so cool.
Because the men who enter this room, they don't look
Bigger labels tend to be looking for quicker fixes than they were in the past. There's sort of, the record labels now tend to put less sort of into artist development. They're less inclined to sort of see an act with raw talent who they think, you know, we can get this guy early and give them 5 albums to become, you know, grow into themselves and their art. And there tends to be less of that artist development now, just because the record industry is looking for this quick fix. You put them on the TV, give them this huge exposure, you know, make instant fans via the TV, because you're getting to know their sort of personalities, and people have got a vested emotional interest in these young boys and girls, which is great. I'm all in favour of people living the dream, but the sort of, I guess, the downside that I've seen is just the record labels. They all have jumped on that bandwagon now, and they just want to reap instantly, so they're less inclined to, you know, take a gamble on a young folk singer.
What did you come for? To call off the beds? Were you looking at me? To write off your debt, or was it just to say you changed your mind? And I can't beat the rain, I can't beat the
My name's Dan Raza. I'm a singer-songwriter in London. I manage myself.
To break free from these blues.
So have you done stuff for this radio show before then?
First time, mate. I've been doing it for about 2 years or something. It's quite growing in sort of popularity. So people are like listening in America and stuff like that. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah, so it should be good. But I think it's like part of the hospital radio, because I went on the website, I don't even went on it. So I don't know if it's like broadcasting to all like the sick patients or something. I don't know, maybe. What, so you might have become a DJ on Six Music?
Well, yeah, that's my aim is to take the show to a big station, then everyone comes with me.
Do you find much sort of like your interest in your albums going up since like that?
I'd never promote my own music on it. Wow. I couldn't play my own music. I'd be a wanker if I didn't. But this one's by me. So I said, it's all just been one song. Every song that's ever been made. It's an opera.
But they're literally like the same lyrics anyway.
It's like a dictionary is just a book about everything. Sarah Dennis. Oh, what's going on? Straight away, it's all going on. Dan Raza, it's opposite me.
Yes. Hey Bob.
Get closer, that's fair.
Hello Bob.
Hello Dan. You've got an album, Dan, that came out yesterday.
I have. That's very true, Bob. Yeah.
And you're very, very proud of that fact.
Well, yeah, I am kind of proud. Yeah.
You should be.
Thanks.
It's in HMV. It's a good album. I've been playing some tracks, man.
I know. I appreciate that.
That's
Bob.
all right. Don't worry.
Yes, it's an HMV.
Oh, there's a phone ringing in the background, but don't worry about it. It's the police. You're after the film crew. There's also Dan Raza with me, but also there's a film crew filming gangs. They're making a documentary about you, Dan. They've been making it for quite a while.
6 months now.
6 months of your life.
6 months of my life.
Since you came out of prison.
That's right.
I started working with a guy called Charlie Hart, who I met in a pub in Lewisham, and he was a really sort of renowned musician. He played with a lot of sort of big guys like Eric Clapton in the 70s and other musical heroes of mine, got people like Ronnie Lane. He saw me play, a mutual friend of ours introduced us. He saw me play, he liked it, he invited me to his house, to sort of have a play, and it evolved into this album. And yeah, that's how it came about, and it was quite a sort of painstaking process.
It's midnight and the wine is not working, so she buys one more to pass the time, and sways to the slow sad step.
It took about 2 years to complete. It was awful because I never thought it was going to end. I never thought there would be a sort of end point of it. I kept fiddling around with it, lost a lot of confidence. I wasn't totally happy with it. It was a real struggle to kind of say, let's just get this out. It was pretty agonising. I didn't have a band. Lost a lot of confidence. I wasn't writing much, and I guess it's kind of translated to you guys how much it means to me being able to sit down and write. It's really a healing sort of thing for me. So I wasn't doing that. I wasn't playing much. I tried to make music my life, and I still was, but I had no confidence that it was going anywhere. I just thought, what am I doing? And then this happened, this big bombshell in my family life happened, and it just came on top of that.
A passport curled up in her pocket.
I was drinking quite a lot for a good few years. But definitely my mind frame was, I'm gonna leave, after this. I'm just gonna get away from England and, just get some sort of perspective back and, just sort of work out what I want to do with my life. And that's honestly how I felt for quite a long time. Yeah, it definitely shook my sort of foundations.
Crying eyes, crying eyes.
Talking about these are the things that matter to me, especially friends, family, but most importantly, it sounds awful, but my music, it's just the thing I feel like I've sacrificed a lot for, a career. I could have just settled into something quite comfortable, be putting a pension down, having kids and stuff I want to do. But the thing that mattered most to me was this fire inside me and this spirit, which I managed to channel through music.
Dan wanted to take me to one of his more regular gigs, a traditional Irish pub in Kilburn. Although this was a million miles from where Dan had the potential to perform, I was taken back by the warm atmosphere, great raw music and sense of tradition.
Success
in kind of conventional terms, you know, being famous, being a star, selling lots of records. That's one sort of way people index success. With Dan, I would say Dan's already a success, because if you go to his gigs, people come away really happy, they've heard great music.
Tonight we'll go dancing, so put on your shoes. The girls wear the dresses and the boys wear the suits. We'll stay on the floor and call out for more, and we'll dance till the music is through, that's for sure.
The record was finished and the wheels were in motion about getting it released, so suddenly things started to change, and I met Amanda, my girlfriend, in sort of November, and suddenly, like, less than a year later, my life's kind of transformed. And all these things that I kind of didn't have, I have now. The 12-bar gig was a really big one. It was my album release party, and it's like Celebrate Me Day, you know, and it's really cool. So I invited all these people down, people I hadn't seen for a long time, people who have been really sort of important and helping me over the years with music and just in my life in general, and it was just so nice to feel that love in the room. Do you know what I mean? People have watched me, some for years, some for months, you know, some my whole life, you know, working at music, you know, and then getting to be there on this big day for me where we just kind of celebrate.
Don't shoot the stars down, babe. Don't shoot the stars down, babe. Don't shoot the stars down.
Yeah, there's nothing better than, you know, writing these songs and then people hearing them and then people saying they like them and then another person saying they like it. It's a wonderful feeling.
Come on, man.
And do you see yourself playing XFM gigs live in the studio?
Jules Holland, man. If Jules Holland's watching this, I'd love to be on that show.
Before starting this film, I already knew that Dan was extremely talented. However, the more time I spent with him, the more I realised that even I had underestimated him. Wondering how he could step up to the next level and reach the wider audience his talent deserves, I spoke to some of his close friends.
I do think, in terms of what's holding him back as a performer, he can be very laissez-faire, he can be very sort of let it happen. He doesn't plan his gigs. He'll devote huge amounts of time and energy to the songs, lots of rehearsal. He'll turn up for the gig without and not bother to do a sound check. So he'll get some shitty sound with some really bad mixing going on at the mixing desk, and he's oblivious, and he'll just sing through it, and at the end of it he won't necessarily know if it was good or bad. There is psychologically something there which sometimes comes out in almost a willful disregard for professional control over what he does. He still produces great gigs, but not necessarily consistently and not necessarily every bit of every gig, which he should be doing to get to the higher level.
The more he can himself imagine himself being outside the circuit that he's already got, outside that established roots folk circuit, and that's for him to make that decision that he really wants that to happen.
Well, you and me, well, we're strangers, and we know that we leave no trace as we run between these city walls. And soon we'll find that it's taken.
I started making this film to find out about Dan Raza, the talented artist who hadn't made it. In truth, the full picture is more complicated, and Dan has been on the cusp of stardom before, sharing the stage with artists like Bob Dylan, being endorsed by Neil Young, and only recently supporting Bellowhead. There are many reasons why his huge talent and these potential opportunities haven't combined to take him to the next level, ranging from little exposure to a lack of luck.
It's a lonely town.
After following Dan for just part of his journey, I finished the film wondering, how long could he continue sacrificing so much for his music? Will his burning passion and talent be enough to help him realise his dreams?
Hungry like the earth, restless right from our birth. But I need you,
don't regret anything that happens, you know. Whether all takes off tomorrow or whether it doesn't, I feel like I'm on the right path. When I look back and I'm 40 or 50, I'm not going to regret it, because this is the thing that I feel like this is the thing I'm taking from here, taking from here.
Turn from the old ways.
I feel like I can go to the day I stop breathing and keep doing this. That will not waver, like my belief in doing my music. I've got like 100% conviction in that, because there's so much heart in it. And it's my heart, you know. I'm a passionate person, you know. I'll give everything to it.
Will I return to this soil? November 3 years ago. But I don't recall the bright lights, nor the icy winds and snows. And I arrived with my girl Jenny, a young rose who I love so. We settled down and I got working for this other man she used to know. And do you sometimes think about me, darling, when you're on your own? Well, do you sometimes dream on your old love? Do you sometimes dream of home? Days were fine when I was working, but I miss the way the old wind blows. I held my tongue when I saw Jenny, saw her smile and the bright cash flow. Yeah, days were good, I made some money, but I miss the days when life was slow. And then one night I came home early, and I found Jenny packed and ready to go. And do you sometimes think about me, darling, when you're on your own? Or do you sometimes dream on your old love? Do you sometimes